So we got to talk about Uncle Trump because, of course, there's a whole lot of, oh my goodness, the Trump administration is falling apart. The sky is falling. Oh, MAGA is completely breaking apart. Look at what happened with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Of course, the same old thing that they always do, doom and gloom with Trump and the Trump administration. It's the worst time ever. Everything's falling apart, You guys know what these liberals be out here doing and lying about. Listen, if there's anything, if you don't take anything else from this video, take this. Don't believe the nonsense, okay? When these liberals are out here screaming doom and gloom, just know that they've done it 1,000 times before, and it's been a lie every single time. You guys remember when they were celebrating because the Iowa poll came out and showed, oh my goodness, this is doom and gloom. Trump's about to lose Iowa, so what's that say about the rest of the states? You guys remember that? We all remember it. It wasn't long ago, okay? That wasn't very long ago. Just over a year ago. So keep that in mind, all right? Keep that in mind when you're seeing all of the fear-mongering from the left. It's what they've done the entire time, okay? Just know it's fear-mongering. It ain't true. But before we get into the meat and potatoes of this entire situation, I do want to play this clip here from this young lady because I think it says a lot. So with that being said, make sure you guys hit that like button for the algorithm. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed already, what are you waiting on? Hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the second channel as well. Link is down below in the description, but let's dive in.
Trump is shining a light on corruption, and whether people like it or not, a whole lot of us are grateful for anyone willing to stand up to a rotten system. I am not perturbed by what I see around me because what is happening in this country right now isn't just political, it is spiritual warfare. Once God opens your eyes, you can't unsee the evil operating around us. People forget something important. Not all government is good. In fact, most of it isn't. And Trump isn't some polished politician. He never was. That's exactly why so many people believe God is using him. God has always used imperfect servants to do powerful things. There's a reason he's fought so hard. There's a reason he's attacked nonstop. There's a reason people in power want him gone so badly. It threatens the system they depend on. You don't have to think he's flawless. Nobody God used in the Bible was. But many believe he's doing exactly what he was placed there to do. So keep him in your prayers because the battle isn't just political, it is spiritual.
She laid it out perfectly right there. When all of this stuff is going on and you're starting to get a little worried, like, oh my goodness, are we gonna pull through? Are we gonna just know it's a bunch of fear mongering. When they're saying, oh my goodness, Trump's in the tank, understand that there's a reason why he's being attacked so much. I mean, think about it. For those of you that have been blessed enough to be on this earth longer than I have, when have you ever seen someone get this much negative coverage and attention? I mean, they literally act like Trump has put thousands of people in pine boxes. They literally treat actual murderers better than they treat Trump. I mean, think about that. Think about that. It's crazy. I mean, literally every day there's another negative story about Trump. Every single day. Every single day. You literally had Republicans, former Republicans, so-called Republicans, we later found out they weren't actually Republicans, jumping ship to not only support the Democrat Party, but going out and campaigning for them. Miss Liz Cheney, when have you ever seen this type? When have you ever seen this level of just attacks against one man? One man. That should tell you that you're supporting the right person. That alone. Is he perfect? No, not perfect. Not by a long shot. But no man on earth is. But what he is something that a tool, right? That is being used to push back against the system, and the system doesn't really like it. I mean, think about it. I mean, literally everything this man tries to do, some rogue judge somewhere is trying to overturn it. Literally everything. I talked about last week how there was a judge somewhere who wanted, I think his name is Greg Bavino, if I remember correctly, of DHS. She wanted him to brief her on everything that ICE was doing for the day. Yeah, judge. Like, what? Why? What? Did the American people vote for you, judge, or did they vote for Trump to deport all of these illegals? And why do you want to get briefed on what ICE is doing that day? Is it so that you can tip some people off? It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. But I want to also get into this poll from CNN. And yes, I know it is CNN, but consider the fact that CNN usually always gives negative coverage to Trump. So when it's positive, it's probably a whole lot better than what they're actually showing. So check it out.
So is the president losing Republicans?
No. Look, this is still Donald Trump's Republican Party, and we can see it here. It's like a rock, to quote Bob Seger. I mean, take a look here. Republicans who approve of Trump. 6 months ago, it was 87%. Now, well, hello, it's the same number. It's 87%. He has not lost any support among Republicans compared to 6 months ago. As I said at the beginning, he's like a rock. He's like a rock. The Republican base is sticking by Donald Trump at this point in time.
It really is interesting to watch his overall approval rating go down, 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 but see this be completely constant here.
It is among independents. It is not among Republicans.
Okay, so how does this compare to past presidents in a second term?
Yeah, okay, I think this gives the game away, right? Which is Donald Trump, if you look at 21st century presidents' own party approval at this point in term two, who leads the pack? It's Donald John Trump. 87% of Republicans approve of Donald John Trump. You go back to 2013, 78% of Democrats supported Barack Obama, and it was 78% of Republicans who supported George W. Bush back in 2005 at this point. So Donald Trump has the biggest highest own party approval of any president who served their entire second term in the 21st century.
You could look at this one of two ways. You could say, obviously, he's doing way better than past presidents. Or you could say, there is still room to settle. If there is a reversion to the mean here, if that does fall further, that could chip into his overall approval rating. Okay, Marjorie Taylor Greene resigning from Congress in January. One of the concerns is that Donald Trump backed someone in a primary against her. How has Donald Trump done in his congressional endorsements?
You know, when you go up against Donald Trump, you're going up against a buzzsaw, because Donald Trump's endorsement record is, it's hard to find anyone else who beats it. Times Trump endorsees won GOP primaries. In 2020, it was 98%. 2022, it was 95%. In 2024, it was 96%. And I will note, the majority of times that Donald Trump backed a challenger to an incumbent like Marjorie Taylor Greene, that challenger won a majority of the time. The bottom line is this. There was a real reason why Marjorie Taylor Greene decided, you know what, it's not worth the fight, because more times than not, when you go up against Donald Trump in a Republican primary, you lose.
Not just more times than not, almost all times.
Almost all of the times, yes.
Based on these. All right, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's saying she's not going to run for president, but there are other questions, which is, hey, is she going to stay a Republican even? What do the markets think about that?
All right, so we go to the prediction markets here, and the chance to leave the Republican Party by January 1st of 2027. You can see it, 31%. I think this is a pretty good baseline, which is more likely than not Marjorie Taylor Greene will stay within the Republican ranks, but there's actually a pretty decent chance that she doesn't. And then that becomes really interesting to see what she has to say about Republicans and Donald Trump in particular if she decides to wave adios amigos.
This is the Republicans, the prediction market saying there is a chance.
There is a chance.
Harriet, and thank you very much.
Yeah, so you saw that, right? And they said 87%. I'm guessing it's higher than that. I don't think it's in the 80s. I think it's in the 90s for sure. But, of course, it's CNN, so, you know. Which is also why it's kind of noteworthy, you know. This is CNN. All they do is cover Trump in a negative light. So when they say something that's in a positive light, it's like, whoa, you might want to take note of this. Because they figure out, well, we can't really cover this one up. We can't really spin this one in a negative light. I mean, we could drop his points a little bit, but we can't do it too much, you know. So I for sure think that support percentage is most definitely in the 90s. You guys can let me know in the comments how you feel about that number, but I think it's definitely higher than that. As far as Marjorie Taylor Greene goes, I mean, my goodness. Oh, sheesh. I might make a separate video on that because there's a whole lot that I can say about the whole Marjorie Taylor Greene situation, but I just wanted to make this quick video to let you guys know, don't buy into the lies in the narrative from the left that everything is falling apart and Trump is sinking and yada, 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 yada. If he was actually that terrible, if he was actually that bad, they would let him sink and beat Republicans in the midterms, but they're not. I mean, it's constant fear-mongering. Oh my goodness, Trump this. Oh my goodness, Trump that. Blah, 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 blah. If he was really doing that bad, you could just sit back and just let him sink himself, you know? So yeah, don't buy into it. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. As we all gather with our families, you know, for Thanksgiving, don't let your liberal family members fearmonger you into any of that nonsense, you know? Don't buy into it. Don't buy into it. It ain't true. Not by a long shot. He's doing better than, you know, their darling, you know, of the Democrat Party, Barack Hussein Obama. Okay. Better than George Bush, you know, so let's pump the brakes on it a little bit. Let's pump the brakes. Could he be better? Of course. Of course. Always. Always. And things will get better. Will get better. I think he's done a fantastic job, especially when you consider the backdrop of what's actually happening, right? Mainstream media, I mean, just a constant stream of negative coverage. Everything he says, everything he does is spun in a negative light. That's tough to run against, right? On top of that, every you know, executive decision or decision that he makes, some rogue judge is trying to overturn it somewhere, and he's having to fight that as well. So, you know, on top of that, you got Republicans, you know, in the Senate specifically, that are dragging their damn feet. How many? He has a record number of executive orders. How many of those have they actually signed into law? How many of those has Congress actually signed into law? Exactly. You know. So and that's why I say the job is not done. The job is not finished. It's not finished. We're just beginning. We still have some rhinos that need to be voted out of the party. John Thune, thinking of you. John Thune has an F rating on the Liberty score. F. He's supposed to be the leader in the Senate. Now, I understand why Trump doesn't, you know, say too much about it, because he still needs John Thune's support while he's still there. So just strategically, you're not going to call out John Thune while he's still the Senate majority leader, right? You're going to need his support. You're not going to call him out until it's clear that he's about to lose and be out of there. So, I mean, to me, that's just common sense and strategy. So if there ever came a time where you saw Trump supporting Thune, like, duh, I would too if I was in Trump's shoes. Like, I'm not going to bash the guy. I need him to help continue this thing on. Like, he's the Senate majority leader. It's just common sense. Now, somebody like me, who's insignificant, doesn't really matter, I can say whatever the fuck I want to, you know? So I'm going to call a spade a spade. He's trash. He's absolutely trash, and he needs to be voted out. But as always, get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Thanks for tuning in. As always, stay safe out there. Safe travels if you are traveling. Peace and love. I'm out.